Hello, Stampin' friends. Trenna Brower here. It's time for me to do one of my card template type things where I have the computer with my randomizing program pick a page for me out of the Stampin' Up catalog or any catalog that I happen to be using at the time. And this time the computer picked page 78, which happens to be this Let's Go Fishing stamp set. Believe it or not, out of the 2 stamp sets that I own in this catalog, this happens to be one of them because my husband likes to fish. So I did get the paper and I did get the stamp set. Now I did not purchase the dies because really I have a Cricut, and if I thought that I needed a picture of a rainbow trout or something cut out, I'm pretty sure my Cricut can do it. So I didn't think it was necessary to spend the money to do that. But anyways, let me see if I can get a closer picture here. And that didn't really help too much, but a little bit. I'm going to be using this page right here, and I'm going to try and use, let me see if I can fold this. Try and make this card right here, although I'm going to be using something other than that stamp set. So I, went through my stash, which I have plenty of, and I thought, okay, so I found this Game On. Let's see if I can do this a little better. Okay, so Game On. This is something that if you open it up, you can see I have never touched it, which is terrible. So this is what we're going to be using. Let me move this out of the way. And I'm going to try and kind of duplicate that one page using this. Then I also went through my stash. And if I'm like most of you guys, I pick up single pages that I shouldn't do anymore at all of sheets of paper. And 12 by 12 since I do scrapbooking. And this is something where I bought some paper and thought, oh, I'll use this. And you know how that goes. You never use it. So let me back it up a little bit here. And this is kind of the paper that I've kind of chosen. This one has the spades and clubs. Of course, then this one has the diamonds and hearts. This is kind of, I have no idea where these came from. This is, of course, a reminisce piece of paper, and I might or might not use it. And of course, I'll use some coordinating cardstock with this to go ahead and make my card. So once again, I'm going to try and use this Game On stamp set and try and duplicate this page here. What did I say it was? Page 78. So I'm going to try and duplicate this card right here, kind of something close to it, but using that Game On stamp set. So I'm going to try and do that, and I'll be back in a bit to show you my at least attempt on this. See you in a minute. Bye-bye. Hi there. I'm back again real quick because I realized when I told you that this stamp set I'd never even put stickers or anything on, that maybe you would like to learn how I have learned how to put these on and make it work really well. There was a demonstrator, I wish I knew her name, I don't remember, it was quite a while ago, who kind of gave us this idea, and it's fabulous. So anyways, what you're going to do is you're going to take your stickers, your sticker sheet here, and let's do the cards. Normally, you'd peel this off, but what you want to do is just kind of peel this little peel a corner off of each little section of that sticker, like that. The reason you want to do that is it's going to make it a whole lot easier to take it off whenever you do. So now instead of pulling those off, we're going to pull the whole thing off. Leave that. Let me move this stuff out of the way. Okay, and then you're going to stick it on a block, wherever you want it. It doesn't matter. Let me look. Okay. So I'm just going to stick this on this block. Now, this is what made it easy then. I can peel these edges right off. It's kind of hard for you to see, but it's right there. So then I'm going to take my rubber stamp, peel off that backing there. And now the best part is, okay, there's the ace. I can sit this down. I'm now going to take my stamp set. Let's see if I can move it up here a little bit closer for you. And I'm going to put it right over this. So it's going to get placed perfectly without me trying to do anything else. So, although I usually stand up to do this, so I may be off a little bit when you guys see it. But yeah, normally then it makes it so easy to go ahead and place this right on your rubber stamp and to get it pretty good. Sorry if my head is in the way. But there you go. Now I've got it on. And you know these new ones. There we go. Got it on there pretty good considering I didn't do my normal standing up and looking to see where I was. But it makes it so much easier to place these stickers, place the old stickers onto your rubber stamps. Okay, now back to me getting ready to go ahead and do my card. So be back in a flash. Hello Stampin' friends, back with the cards that I created using the Game On retired stamp set. And remember I told you that this was the first time I'd seen ink, so it was kind of fun to play with. So let me get started a little bit. If you remember, I was doing a page, let me move this out of the way, from the Stampin' Up catalog, page 78, and it happened to be Let's Go Fishing. And I wanted to kind of recreate a card using something different. So I chose this card right here, and let me show you what I came up with. So first of all, I used my papers, and this is the card that I came up with. Let me see if I can get it up a little closer for you. This is the back side of this paper, and this is the back side of this paper. So that's what I ended up using. And I've smooshed them all together, so all these layers are right next to each other. Added a little bit of bling there. Fussy cut that. Added some bling here. And of course, my little sentiment right there. The inside will have this whenever I actually hook it down. So, because I don't know exactly what I'm going to use it for yet. So anyways, that was my first one. It was okay. Let me see if I can maybe bring this in a little bit closer. Let me see. There we go. Okay, it was okay. I wasn't thrilled with it. So I thought, okay, let me try using this with the red. You know, didn't really care for that much either. So, all right. I wasn't going to be defeated. I mean, these were okay. I'm not saying they're not, but they just didn't do much for me. And I was determined to use that Game On stamp set. So instead, I said, okay, there were other samples on this page. I thought, let's try this. Let's do a slimline card. So this is what I came up with. I used the other set of papers that I'd shown you earlier, and this is the one that I made. So I've got the deck of cards. Once again, the little dice. I've put all of these on dimensionals. Added a little bit of bling. And then for this one, I stamped it on that, used my washi tape punch and punched it out and kind of layered it a little bit differently when I layered it on black using the washi tape. The other one that I did on this one, just a little bit different, is this right here. And just kind of used the stitch framelits that I had and did the same thing, just kind of using a different sentiment. And of course the inside will be like this then. Get my finger out of the way. All right, so I still had lots of stuff left over. So I said, let's keep going because I might as well use up all this paper while I've got it out. So I did the same thing again with this card. The only difference is this time, where you can kind of see my inside of it there, I left space in between them instead of having them flush with each other. So you can kind of see how I left space in between them. But otherwise, it's the same card. And once again, I kind of did some fiddling, tried it with the red on the washi tape sentiment, and did the same thing there. Just kind of played with it a little bit. Okay, I still had some paper left over, so I went back and I had some large sheets. So this is the next thing I created. And once again, it's using the cards, the little dice, and the sentiment, and I had washi tape. You can see that washi tape, that's all those things, and I thought I'm going to use it. So red base, black, and then my designer paper there, along with my washi tape, and of course just dimensionals again. And then I still had another big piece of this left, and this is what I did with it. Same type of design, just a little bit different. I don't think that you can see my bling quite as well, but I ended up creating that because I didn't want that bright red that I had on the others. And what I did was I took my, you can use a Sharpie or my blends or whatever it was. I used my blends, and I used like cherry cobbler and then put a brown over the top of it on my rhinestones, colored them in so that my rhinestones here. So I colored it with the cherry cobbler and then put the brown over it to kind of darken them up so it wasn't quite the bright red on this, although it's kind of hard to tell. But anyways, so that's what I ended up with. And let me just show you, since I had those 3 sheets, this is the back side of the spades and clubs. And this was the back side of the hearts and diamonds. So I used all that. This is the one side, and then the back side was this. So I used all of that. And the one thing that you might have noticed too was on one of these cards, I did use my scan and cut on some of these. And I have an old scan and cut that my husband picked up for me at a garage sale for $50, so it is ancient. But it works for what I need. But for some reason, when I used the scan and cut on this, it didn't like the outline. So I ended up fussy cutting the fussy cutting the card set. But for some reason, it cut out that little heart in the middle. So instead, I just took my extra sheet of paper here, cut this little square out. You can see I cut it out there, and taped it behind that heart. So that's how I ended up with the heart, like that. And that is about does it. I can't think of anything else. Oh, I'm sure y'all know how to do the washi tape with the ends, where you have your stamped image on your card. Oops, excuse me. And then you just take the black, punch it out of the black washi tape. Let me see if I can find my scissors. Aha. Cut it in half. I kind of then, oops, can't hold on to it. I kind of then just kind of, oops, the wrong way. Trim this off a little bit like this, so it makes it easier to hook it onto the back of my card. And then this is how you get your little, that's how I get the end of my washi tape. So it ends up like that. I'm sure y'all know how to do that. Let me move all this stuff out of the way. I can't think of anything else right now that I did anything special with. I do have the dimensions on these. So I wanted to let you know if you do want to try and recreate it. It's 2 1/4 by 2 3/8, 2 1/4 by 1 1/2, 2 7/8 by 1 1/2, and 2 7/8 by 2 1/2. And then for the slimline card, it was, of course, you know, the slimline card is 8 1/2 by 7. So this is a 3 1/2 inch deep card. So this section here, the first layer, of course, will be half of that. This, which is the 8 1/4 by 3 1/4. The next section that I did was 8 by 2 3/4, and then this top one was 7 1/2 by 2 1/4. So I'll attach those at the end as just to kind of show the pictures. So anyways, that's kind of all of my cards. A little bit different here and there. Let me back this up a little bit so that maybe you can see them a little bit better. Nothing wants to work for me today. There we go. And you can kind of see the different cards that I made. Got a little bit of everything here. That, and then the ones where, let's see, a little bit closer. Kind of some odds and ends. So anyways, out of those 3 sheets of designer paper, I ended up with about 10 cards, all different. Well, some of them the same. But anyways, I had fun doing it. I actually like doing something like this where it forces myself to get a little bit creative, even though I'm not always thrilled with my end product. But this came out okay. So I want to thank you all for watching. Keep stamping and scrapping, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.